morning, YouTube. Let's go for a walk.
So it's about 6:45 a.m. Technically, it's not dawn, quite hasn't occurred yet. And it's about 52 degrees, something like that. Perfect walking weather. When it's early in the morning like this, you don't have as much traffic. And not as many people giving you weird looks if they see me walking backwards or anything like that. And it's just nicer, you know. Athens has a lot of good sidewalks. You can go walk around the downtown area. You can go, I'm here in front of Founders Hall on Athens State's campus. Good places to walk. And I like to go early in the morning. Good time to walk. Athens State isn't quite as big as Mississippi State University, but it still has a really nice campus. And it's right next to church, so I often go park at the church parking lot, have a nice walk. Athens State's mascot is the black bear, right? I think it's the black bear. Ironically, the same as Ole Miss. Something that I intend to increase my appreciation of is stairs. Not only going upstairs, but also downstairs. Because when you're really overweight, going downstairs can be hard on your knees. And I can already tell, you know, having lost about 45 pounds, it's already easier. And in fact, that was actually something that I really learned to enjoy the first time I lost weight and I got below 300 pounds, was the fact that I could go upstairs and downstairs much more easily. Now, some towns have train tracks that run through them like Athens does, but they are not really used very much or might not be used at all. That is definitely not the case here in Athens. We get trains all the time. Mostly they're cargo trains carrying stuff like coal or shipping containers. So one thing you have to think about is which side of the tracks am I on? If there's a train, especially if it's one of the really slow ones, you know, am I going to be able to cross back over where I want to? Or am I going to have... My hair's still getting blown around. Am I going to have to wait? Am I going to deal with that stupid loud whistle because we don't have proper crossing gates here because they're too expensive and nobody was willing to pay for them? Another thing you'll notice is that here in my ears, I'm not wearing any kind of headphones or earbuds or anything. I love listening to my iPod, but when walking around out here where there's traffic, I mean, even now, I mean, it's barely 7 a.m. and there's cars going everywhere. I just figured it's not a good idea. If I'm on Norton Drive, my home street, or if I'm on, you know, walking track somewhere, great. But out here, no thanks. Now, you might be wondering if I feel odd out here with my video camera holding up like this, and the answer is nope. I've had too many years of performing experience, too many recital hours, too many recitals, too many concerts. Playing clarinet gave me self-confidence. And I don't care who sees me. Almost saved is totally lost. I agree. Now, I know that walking across parking lots and dodging traffic is not everyone's cup of tea, but as far as I'm concerned, I'd much rather walk outside than indoors on a treadmill. That, to me, is kind of boring. The truth is, walking for someone when you're really overweight like I am is a really great exercise because it's pretty low impact on your knees and on your ankles. And when you do it for long periods of time, like I do, you're burning fat. You know, it's not actually aerobic exercise, it's more anaerobic exercise because you're not using up the glucose in your bloodstream. And so it burns fat, which is what I want. And my problem is, though, that my feet hurt. Usually after about 3 miles, I'm ready to sit down a little bit, not because I'm tired, not because I don't have energy, not because I want to, but because my feet hurt. It is nice that Athens does have, oh my gosh, my hair. It is nice that Athens does have some good places to walk. That building way off back there in the distance, that's the wellness center. Eventually I'm going to start swimming there, which is nice because swimming means I'm not on my feet, and I'm a pretty good swimmer, and I enjoy it. I'm just a little self-conscious about it right now. Not entirely self-conscious about walking backwards. here on this rather busy Washington street this morning. But the reason why, or that is, walking backwards is really good for you. Works your muscles in the opposite directions. You know, so one side, instead of contracting, now the other side is contracting. And it feels good, although I don't really have enough room for it right here. You know, I like to think that on some of Athens' slightly dilapidated sidewalks, I wonder if they feel neglected. You know, I like to think that even though I weigh 462 pounds and I'm putting some pressure on them, that they're happy to be walked on. If sidewalks could think or care or anything like that. Mostly, as long as I don't trip on a place where the pavement's been pushed up by tree roots, I'm happy. I don't know about the sidewalk. Also, I have a funny habit. Even though I know that people driving in their cars with their windows up can't hear me, if someone lets me go by, I'm like, thanks. They can't hear me, but I do it anyway. Well, I've now reached what I call my long-range pace. When I start walking, I feel so good, tons of energy. I'm ready just to move. And then as I walk 2 miles, usually about the time I've done 3 miles, I wind up shortening my stride, slowing down just a little bit, but I keep going. And sure, if there were, you know, say walkers behind me, I could pretty much keep going all day. But since the zombie apocalypse is not yet upon us, usually about 4 miles right now is pretty good for me.